This video will describe the features associated with verbs. So we come here, we select verbs. Here are the features that we use in the semantic representations for verbs. The first value is time, and we have a value for present. Then we have multiple degrees of past tense. Immediate past, earlier today, yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, etc., etc. During speaker's lifetime. Historic past, eternity past, unknown past. No language makes all of those distinctions. We looked at a wide variety of grammars when we set up the system, and we had to draw our lines more precisely than any language out there. So these are the categories that we came up with. You can write rules that will collapse these. Maybe your language uses past and remote past. Anything more than a year ago is remote past. Or you can combine any of these that you want so that the new categories fit your language. Then we have another value for discourse. This is the verb. This is the value of time for all of the verbs that aren't in direct quotes. For example, most of the verbs in the Bible are set to discourse. In English, we tell our stories using past tense because they happened in the past. Not all languages do that. So there's a special sense of time, a special value of time called discourse, so that you can write a rule and provide the appropriate tense marker for your language. Then we have multiple levels of future tense: immediate future, later today, tomorrow, etc., down to unknown future. And then timeless. Timeless is for things that are always true, like God loves us, oil floats on water, the sun sets in the west, things like that. Aspect. These are the usual values for aspect. Inceptive, meaning something started. Completive, meaning something's finished. Continuative, meaning it's ongoing, someone's continuing. Imperfective, meaning the action is still going on now. Routine, meaning someone does it routinely, but we're not really emphasizing that. John walks to work. Habitual is more emphasis than routine. John regularly walks to work. John habitually walks to work. Something like that. And gnomic is always paired with timeless. Oil floats on water, things like that. Mood. Most verbs are set to indicative, meaning no specific mood is marked. Definite potential means something will definitely happen. Probable potential means it will probably happen. Might potential, might not potential. Unlikely potential means it probably won't happen. And impossible potential means it definitely won't happen. Then we have must and should not. Forbidden obligation is the same as must not. And then may, this is permissive may. Like, for example, if a father gives his son permission to go to school, he says, you may go to school. This is different than something like when someone says, may God bless you. That's for may God bless you, we have a specific verb in the ontology. So this may is permissive may. Reflexivity. 3 values. Reciprocal. They saw each other. You saw each other. We saw each other. For reciprocal, the agent noun phrase has to be plural. So they saw each other. You, plural, saw each other. We saw each other. Reflexive is John saw himself. They saw themselves. You saw yourselves. You saw yourself. I saw myself. We saw ourselves. Things like that. Polarity. Affirmative means it happened. Negative means it didn't happen. Emphatic affirmative is something like when God says to Adam and Eve, when you eat that fruit, you will surely die. You will certainly die. That's emphatic negative. And we have that's emphatic affirmative, and we have emphatic negative. Okay, adjective degree. This is a feature that's set aside. In a future video, we'll talk about how you can write rules that convert adjectives to verbs. The semantic representations are highly influenced by English, and English has lots of adjectives. Many languages will use verbs in places where English uses adjectives. So we've made it very simple for you to write rules that convert our adjectives to verbs in your target language. And when you convert a verb, when you convert an adjective to a verb, the adjective's degree value is copied here. So these values are only used when you have a rule that converts an adjective to a verb. You don't need to set these. These aren't set in the semantic representations. They're only used when you write rules that convert adjectives to verbs. And then target tense and form. Initially we only have one value, unspecified. You need to provide your own values for your target language. The various tenses, maybe past tense, future tense, present tense, and the various forms, like perfect participle, participle. You provide the forms. Here in the Philippines we have actor focus perfective, actor focus imperfective, object focus contemplative, etc. So these are your target tenses and forms. Target aspect, these are the same as the other aspects that we saw earlier. We provide these values, and in a subsequent video when we talk about the target tense aspect mood rules, those rules copy the aspect to target aspect. And it's the same with target mood. The target tense aspect mood rules will copy mood to target mood. The reason we have these, we used to write our rules using aspect and mood, and sometimes those rules needed to change these values. But then later we needed that initial value back again, but we couldn't get it. It was gone. So now we make copies of time, aspect, and mood, and they're copied to here, target tense and form, target aspect, target mood. And then we use these copies, and we can change, our rules can change these values, but then if we need that initial value back again, we can look back and we can get it. So that's what these are for. And then the rest are spares.